Sarah's school day. Sarah is 7 years old. She goes to Greenfield Elementary School, a small school with a big playground and colorful classrooms. Sarah loves her school because she has many friends and kind teachers who always encourage her to learn. Morning routine. One sunny morning, Sarah wakes up to the sound of her alarm clock. She stretches her arms and jumps out of bed. "It's a school day," she says happily. Sarah brushes her teeth, washes her face, and combs her curly hair. She puts on her blue and white school uniform and ties her shoes neatly. Sarah's mother is in the kitchen making breakfast. "Good morning, Mom," Sarah says with a big smile. "Good morning, Sarah. Are you ready for school?" her mother asks. "Yes, I am," Sarah replies. For breakfast, Sarah eats toast with butter and drinks a glass of orange juice. Her mother hands her a lunchbox. It has a cheese sandwich, an apple, some carrot sticks, and a bottle of water. "Have a great day at school, Sarah," her mother says. "Thank you, Mom. See you later," Sarah says as she puts on her backpack. The walk to school. Sarah walks to school with her best friend Emma. They live on the same street, so they walk together every day. "Did you finish your homework, Sarah?" Emma asks. "Yes, I did. What about you?" Sarah replies. "I finished it too, but I had trouble with one math problem," Emma says. Sarah laughs. "Don't worry, Emma. Mrs. Brown will help us in class." On the way, they see birds singing in the trees and a cat sitting on a fence. "Look, Emma, the cat looks so sleepy," Sarah says. The girls giggle and continue walking. Morning lessons. When they arrive at school, the bell rings. Sarah and Emma hurry to their classroom and sit at their desks. Their teacher, Mrs. Brown, stands at the front of the room. She is wearing a red dress and glasses. "Good morning, class," Mrs. Brown says. "Good morning, Mrs. Brown," the students reply in unison. The first lesson is math. Mrs. Brown writes some problems on the board. "Who can solve this?" she asks. Sarah raises her hand and answers correctly. "Great job, Sarah," Mrs. Brown says. After math, it's time for English. Today, the students are learning about animals. Mrs. Brown shows pictures of a lion, a rabbit, a bird, and a fish. "What is your favorite animal?" she asks. "I like rabbits," Sarah says. "Why do you like rabbits?" Mrs. Brown asks. "Because they are soft and cute," Sarah replies. The whole class smiles. Lunchtime and recess. At 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime. Sarah sits with Emma and her other friends, James and Lily. They eat their food and talk about their favorite games. "Do you want to play tag after lunch?" James asks. "Yes, I love tag," Sarah says. After eating, the children run to the playground. Sarah is very fast. She chases Emma, who laughs and tries to escape. "You can't catch me," Emma shouts, but Sarah catches her and says, "Tag, you're it." The children also play on the swings and slide. Sarah loves the swings because she feels like she is flying. Afternoon activities. In the afternoon, the students have art class. Sarah is excited because she loves drawing. Today, the teacher asks them to draw their favorite place. Sarah draws a picture of a park. She adds green trees, colorful flowers, a blue sky, and a big rainbow. Mrs. Brown walks around the room to look at the drawings. "Wow, Sarah, your picture is beautiful," Mrs. Brown says. "Thank you, Mrs. Brown," Sarah replies proudly. After art class, it's time for science. The students learn about plants. Mrs. Brown brings a small plant to class and shows them its roots, stem, and leaves. Sarah takes notes in her notebook. "Plants need sunlight and water to grow," Mrs. Brown explains. Sarah thinks about the flowers she saw on her way to school. End of the school day. At 3 o'clock, the school day ends. Sarah packs her books and pencils into her backpack. She waves goodbye to her friends and says, "See you tomorrow." On the way home, Sarah and Emma talk about their day. "I loved art class today," Sarah says. "Me too. Your picture was amazing," Emma replies. When Sarah gets home, her mother asks, "How was school today, Sarah?" "It was great. I answered a math question, learned about plants, and played tag with my friends," Sarah says excitedly. "Good job, Sarah. I'm so proud of you," her mother says. Evening and bedtime. After finishing her homework, Sarah eats dinner with her family. They talk about their day and share funny stories. Later, Sarah takes a warm bath and puts on her pajamas. She brushes her teeth and gets into bed. Her mother reads her a bedtime story. "Good night, Sarah. Sweet dreams," her mother says, kissing her forehead. "Good night, Mom," Sarah says. As Sarah closes her eyes, she thinks about her fun day at school. She dreams of playing tag, drawing rainbows, and learning new things.